To all my cleaning business owners out there, this conversation right here is for you, especially if you are experiencing some growing pains or you want to grow. Man, we go over marketing, cold calling, sales, how to hire people, quality control. I mean, we go over so many topics. So anyway, let's get right into it. Yeah, man,
Okay.
to kind of tell you a little bit about my story, I started out in Arkansas 4.5 years ago. And we ended up getting to the point where we got to grow and it was running pretty smoothly. I was doing a lot of the work myself, had a couple other people helping me out as well, and I had some subcontractors. But my wife and I ended up wanting to venture out, and we landed on Jacksonville, Florida. And next thing you know, we took a trip down here. This time last year, we took a trip down here, and pretty much came out here with my business cards, my flyers, and this was before I even had anything established in Florida. It was just a matter of me going out and seeing. I wonder if I could get something out here, and if I do, that'll let me know we probably can make a move. And so that's exactly how it happened. I went out, had my shirt on, somewhat like how like you are dressed up right now. Went
Right.
on out there, door to door. I'm talking to people, meeting people. I probably spent about 3.5 hours just doing this. And I had a couple of really good interactions. And long story short, walked into this one clinic and she let me know, hey, right now the people that we got, they're pretty good, but we got some more clinics opening up and we're gonna need somebody for them. And so I'm like, okay, well, cool. And sure enough, man, she introduced me to, well, virtually, you know, uh, introduced my business to the property manager, and one thing led to the next. I ended up flying back out there doing a walkthrough, and just like that, we had first two contracts out there, and we went ahead and moved in April. And so that's how we got out here. And 10 months later, we 6, 7 contracts up out here. So, and then as well
Good.
as Arkansas still going. So that's a little bit about my story and how I got out here. Uh,
Oh, you still got it going in Arkansas too.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's still
Oh, okay.
going
Okay.
out there. And that's more so just with my subcontractors that I already been established with, I already had known, and these are people who I knew that they did good business, and
Right.
I knew that they were serious about it, and that's how it worked out. And for the last 10 months,
Okay.
it's been flowing. Whether that's a floor
Good.
job, for the floor cleaning jobs, or the contracts that I already had in place, I only had to let one go, and that was just a couple months ago because they ended up finding somebody cheaper, somebody that could be on site because I hadn't been able to go on site and actually interact with none of my customers or clients because of the fact that I'm 700 miles away, and
Right.
the majority of them I don't see them, talk to them, or nothing like that anyway. It's just all over email, and so that's how that's
Right.
been working out. But yeah, man, that's how we got to where we are now. But tell me about yourself, man. So what you got going on? You in the commercial or you in the
Yeah.
residential side?
Yeah. We only do commercial right now. And the way I got started, well, to be honest with you, I've been I have been trying to get into the cleaning for some years, and it just wasn't working out because I just had too much other stuff going as far as my 9 to 5 job, and eventually it just it just happened for me.
Mhm.
I had some business cards, and at my 9 to 5 job, I actually have to go to a lot of commercial buildings, the provide the service that we do
Mhm.
for my 9 to 5, and I just started telling different people that I started a cleaning business, and I spoke to this one lady that I had known for years from a 9 to 5 job. I actually, before the I was pursuing the commercial cleaning uh, janitorial business, I was doing pressure washing with
Okay.
one of my friends, and he moved away and he left me all the equipment, the pressure washer, the surface cleaners, and stuff like that. And I was needing some extra money, so I started at this one business that we go to. I asked the lady about pressure washing our sidewalks because they were real nasty, and I knew that's something that I knew how to do.
Oh yeah.
And on my business card, it said pressure washing, but it also said janitorial on there. But I didn't have any experience doing janitorial, or I didn't have any contracts at the time. And she saw on my card that it said janitorial, and she asked me about it, and she said, "You do janitorial?" And I told her, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And from there, she linked me up with the people that they rent the building from, and that was 3-4 years ago, and we've been had that account ever since.
Nice,
Mhm.
man.
And I got two other accounts. One of them is a bank, and that pretty much I got it the same way I mentioned to the manager about bidding on cleaning the bank. And he told me when the contract ran out with their current janitorial company, and he said, "Go ahead and send me an estimate, and I'll submit it. When it's time for them to re-up." And I never did hear anything from it for like 2 years. 2 years, I never heard anything from him. And I would continuously go there to, from my 9 to 5 every 2 weeks to provide the service that we did. And I never mentioned it to him again. I just come in, do my business, and leave. And over 2 years, nobody ever said anything. And then the cleaning company that they were using ended up kind of getting on hard times, and they couldn't hire anybody to clean that bank. And they just stopped showing up.
Oh wow.
And one day I walked in to, because of my 9 to 5 to do that. And I was about to walk out the door, and the manager jumped up and he was like, "Hey, you remember that estimate you sent me a couple of years ago?" And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Can you send it to me again?" He said, "Our cleaning company just stopped showing up and we need
Oh
somebody ASAP."
man.
That was on a Monday. And by that Friday, I was cleaning it and been
Wow.
cleaning it since.
That's
Now, I
awesome.
mean, that was like 2 years, man. And
Yeah.
they remember me.
Yeah. And you just
Yeah,
staying persistent and consistent. And he knowing, man, if this man steady coming here every 2 weeks, taking care of this for us, then I know he gonna be consistent to come on. Oh man. And
right.
plus he's steady seeing your face. So it's he ain't forgot,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just when the circumstances happened, it worked out perfectly. I
It
love that
worked
story.
out.
I
It was
love that
perfect.
story right there.
Man, that was just a blessing, man, because like I said, I hadn't really gave up on it,
Mhm.
but I thought just they were gonna stick with who they had, and that
Yeah.
was their plan to stick with who they had. But like I said, they just stopped showing up,
Right. Right.
and yeah, we've been doing that for over a year now. That bank, and then recently, last year in July, I picked up a government contract. I ain't never had a government contract.
Mhm.
It's for the DMV. We got two DMVs here
Nice.
in Hattiesburg, and I picked those up. And they have a state trooper dispatch center. So I
Yeah.
picked up all three of those buildings back in July, and
Nice.
I've been doing those. So I have those three accounts right now, and I want to get more accounts, but like I said, what I mentioned to you in that email is I just got to get more streamlined and more organized with it, and for I feel more comfortable picking up some more accounts, because I feel like I could pick up some major accounts, but I'm kind of scared, to be honest. because I just feel like I'm not as organized with my business as I need to be to handle some bigger accounts. And my biggest fear is getting a big account and not being able to man it, as far as hiring. And hiring is like one of my biggest fears, not being able to find people, um, dependable people to work, because that's just been one of my biggest issues
Mhm.
is hiring people. And that's one of the things I wanted to ask you about is for, I mentioned systems, and that's one of the systems that I really need help with is the hiring part, as far as having a consistent system, um, where I consistently got applicants or people that's interested in working and getting
Yeah.
some quality people. I have a problem getting quality people. I went through several people over at that first building that I got, and they just didn't work out. Or and I just feel like I got somebody in there now, but they might have to leave soon. So I'm in the process of trying to find some people now, and that's one thing I wanted to ask you about. What's your system as far as hiring employees, or do you just have subcontractors?
Right. Great question. So first and foremost, man, congratulations on everything that you've gotten established. It really sounds like you've really been figuring it out, and it sounds like you guys are doing a good job cleaning, and you staying on top of that. So that's the man. That's half the battle right there. So congrats on that, and I got to give you your props, man, because that is I love how like your story, how that's been working out. Awesome, man. But yes, like you, I'm in a similar position where I too am going after bigger accounts and having to find help as well because of the fact that yeah, we can only do so much, man,
Right.
and that's and that's understandable. What I do want to ask you about is, um, are you do you still working your day job
Yeah,
as
that's
well?
that's something I forgot to mention. Yeah, I still have my
Okay,
9 to 5.
okay. So you still doing that, and you're how would you say that you are doing? Are you cleaning anything right now, or you got other people that's helping you do those as well?
Right now, the only thing that I clean is the bank.
Okay,
The bank that I mentioned, I clean it pretty much every time. Sometimes if I have something else going on, I can get my daughter. She'll go do it. She does a good job, but she can't do it consistently.
yeah,
And my son, he helps me out a little bit, but he's a teenager. But yeah, the bank is what and it's only twice a week, and
okay,
it only takes a few hours. If I'm doing it by myself and I got somebody with me, we can knock it out in half that time, of course. But yeah, it's only twice a week, and then the other ones, the my first account, my largest account, it's a daytime account where you have to clean it before they leave in the
right.
evening.
The government,
And so that's something, as far as having somebody dependable, I have to have, because I'm the only person that can fill in. That's another thing.
yeah,
When somebody call in, I have to go.
yeah,
And with those DMVs that I was telling you about, I have somebody in there now, but if they call in, I have to go and fill in
right,
for 'em. I'm the only person. Like I said, sometimes I get my daughter to go, but she has 2 kids and everything, and sometimes she can't go. But I have to go most of the time. But as far as consistently, I pretty much clean that bank every time. And like I said, it's just it's twice a week. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's cool. And then so because and that one that has to be cleaned during the day, that's a government building, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand how that goes too. I had a VA clinic like that. So one thing that I would say, one thing that I tried that really worked for me in a smaller town. This was in Searcy, Arkansas, smaller town place that really worked out well for me was I put an ad in a newspaper. And it was probably, I would say, anywhere from $40 to $65 per month to run that ad. And I just came up with something. It was short and sweet. It told what we did. Or told what the job description was. It told, I believe I did put on there what I would pay, and then I put on there. I have to get the exact description for you. But looking for somebody to uh, be team member of a cleaning crew. You know, this many hours a day in this area, this type of building, and must be able to lift 25 pounds or so, something like that, short and sweet. And I ran that newspaper ad, and I got several calls. And a town like yours, I believe that possibly could work as well. Now out here in Florida, one of the best systems that I found is going on Indeed. I did an Indeed ad. Now I tried the newspaper ad out here as well, but it didn't work out as well as it did in that smaller town. It didn't work out too well out here. And and by the way that I found the newspaper was I think I either got I found one of their newspapers somewhere, or I just Googled that area and I just called them up. Hey, how much does it cost for this? And I just tested it. And I think that'll be a good way for you to do too. To try that one is just test all these ways for you to find good people. And then another thing I did was I got on Indeed. Indeed.com. It works, man. I at this moment right now, I just hired, I just got 4 people on our team, and I found them all on Indeed. And the way that our process worked out is I'm looking for, or first of all, Indeed has an AI, artificial intelligence prompting on their website that you'll put in there. Um, this is the job description, and once you put that job description on there, uh, cleaner or cleaning position, it'll do an automatic prompting of what some of the things that you might want to put in there, and you can just look it over and say, okay, I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna keep that. I need that. I need that. And then you just add your own spin on it. And I put on there, something. I can send you that as well. Short and sweet. This is what we're looking for. And I posted it. And I ran it for $6 a day. $6 a day. I spent, because on the newspaper ad that I spent out here, I bought I bought for 3 territories, and it ran for 1 month for $180. I said, I seen that didn't work. I only got a couple calls from it, and then the one guy who was really interested, he didn't have a vehicle. It just didn't work out well. And so I said, I'm gonna invest that same $180 over here into Indeed, and I ran that, and it came out to be $6 a day for 30 days, and I ran it, and immediately I'm getting hits. People
Right.
started flooding in. Right now, as we speak, I have about 450 people, applicants on there, on
Man.
that Indeed, and it's somewhat of it's kind of overwhelming. It's like, whoa, this is a whole lot, because you start seeing a bunch of people come through. And what my wife and I, what we did, we simply would just, as soon as it come in, I'm gonna look at the resume. I'm gonna look at the resume, what they look like. I'm looking for cleaning experience. One, I'm looking for people who may already have an LLC or a business. I'm looking for people who got something to lose, like they already got a job, they know how to keep a job. I'm looking for those kind of people. If the application just got ready to work, I ain't even about mess with that. They not put no type of whatever, no type of detail, nothing there. I'm looking for people who got some details on there, and then people who actually care. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take their number down, and at a, I'm gonna do this about 10, 20 times, and I'm gonna come up with a nice little list. Now I'm gonna call these people, and I'm gonna just do a brief over the phone interview. Hey, how you doing? I seen that you applied for this certain position. Just wanted to see if you're still interested, and we'll go from there. I asked them, what part of town are you on? Do you have transportation? Have you had any cleaning experience? And in the ones who got an LLC already or whatever, I asked them, so you familiar with 1099 and all that? And what are you doing now? And you just fill them out over the phone, and
Right.
and then if it sounds like somebody that's promising, and you feel like, okay, this could probably be a good person, next step is, hey, would you be able to meet me at a Panera Bread or a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts, some public place where y'all can just sit down, chop it up. You can meet them face to face. You fill them out, and you ask them questions then as well. And it's really just a trust thing. Can I feel like I trust this person? And
Right.
and we go from there. And then from there, if that went well and they seem promising, I'm like, you know what, man, I got a good vibe about this person. Hey, this is what I got, this opportunity I got for you. Let's go check this building out. And I'll show it to them. Hey, do you think you can do this or whatever, however that works out? And then from that point, that's where we go into the agreement. Okay, well, if this is okay with you, and we can come up with an agreement, we'll talk about it, of course, verbally. Then next step is to where I'll write up an agreement. We'll write up an agreement. This is our understanding. This is my part of the bargain. This is your part of the bargain. This is your responsibilities. And this is the amount that we're agreeing on. Boom, go from there. And then, from that point, I'm pretty much turning over keys to them. I may show them my process that first day. I'll do it with them. Yeah, we'll clean together or whatever. And then after that, I'm pretty much letting them fly. And then from that point is where now I've turned into somewhat of an operations manager, where I'm going around and I'm checking their work. Are they doing a good job at this place? So I'm going in there after them for the most part. They'll
Right.
do it. I'll go in there after them. If I see something, if I see they miss something or whatever, and we have this understanding from the jump. If I see something that they miss, I'm immediately snapping a photo of it. Hey, you missed this, or hey, you know, this didn't get done. We, per the scope of work, this is supposed to be done or whatever. I'm not, I'm not uh, lording over them. I'm just letting you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
hey, this is supposed to be done. Can we, and just to be real with you, that's been my process. That's the way that's worked out really well for me. We are now about a month and a half in with the four people that we found, and we found some really good people, man. The first two people we got in this really large building, it's a couple. It's an older couple. They
Mm.
maybe in their early 60s. I would say
Right.
early 60s. They've had a cleaning company in the past. They still kind of do their own thing, and and they working it out. And now I know what to expect from them now. Like I see, okay, they do this really well. They don't do that so well. So I know that I might have to come up in here and kind of pick up the slack every night,
Okay.
or every other night. Like it might be something, as far as underneath the chairs in certain areas. Okay, I know I'm gonna have to come up here and come vacuum that up, once in a while. Make sure that's taken care of. And I'm just going around checking. And my rule of thumb is I don't want to spend no more than 1/4 of the time that it takes to clean the building doing the inspection. I go in and do my inspections. I don't, if the building takes 4 hours to clean, I shouldn't be in here no more than 45 to an hour checking
Right.
it. doing my inspection. And sometimes it's quicker than that. But the way that I think about it is, I now, to take the pressure off of me from doing all the cleaning, I'm gonna just step into that manager role where I'm just checking it. Does the
Yeah.
building look good? And that's been my system. And
Okay.
everyone that I got, this is how I've been doing them. And when it comes down to the 1099 or the W-2, I've never went W-2. I To be honest with you, I'm somewhat uncomfortable with it. Right? I don't know. I don't understand all that yet. I
Yeah.
understand 1099 contractors hiring a sole proprietor or hiring an actual company, and we coming up with an agreement to where I'm subcontracting the labor out to them.
Right.
And that's been my process. So just to sum all that up, Indeed posting, I'm gonna call them, I'm gonna meet them in person, show them the building, we do the agreement, let them fly.
Okay. Well, that's something else I wanted to ask you about is the subcontracting.
Mm-hmm.
I've never hired a real subcontractor. I always had employees,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something I don't understand is subcontracting as far as the pricing.
Uh-huh.
What percentage of the what you're charging the customer, if you get a subcontractor, what percentage of that price should I be getting, and what percentage should the subcontractor be getting?
Great question. So it's really up to you, whether you want to go 50-50, 30-70, 80-20. Now, so for all my subcontract agreements in Arkansas, I went totally 80-20 splits. It's all 80-20. But down here, since I've hired sole proprietors, mostly sole proprietors, to where a couple of them don't have their actual own business and LLC. I'm hiring
Right.
them as a sole proprietor contractor to just to do the labor. I pay them an hourly wage of what it
Mm-hmm.
takes okay, so how I did it was, this is exactly how I did it. If the building takes me 2 hours to clean it, I'm going to pay them 3 hours. So we come up with okay, I'm gonna pay $15 an hour times 3. And what I said, that come out to be $45 per visit. I'll pay $45 per visit. However long it takes you to do it, I'm not, you don't have to, do it from this time to this time. It's just, I'm gonna pay you $45 per visit. Every time you come here and clean, it's $45. And that's how we did it. And I did that. I did that 45 times an average of 21 days per month, for that 4 weeks. And then that came out to be, $900 or so. And so the agreement would be, all right, we are agreeing that I'll pay you $900 per month to take care of this building. And that's on an average of $45 per visit. And that's how the
Right.
agreement goes. And so to answer your question on that, this building that I did that on, I think the contract is for around $2,400. It's around $2,400 a month, and I'm paying out 900. And so that's how it goes. And so that's really like that's probably around 60-40, 65-45, somewhere around there, or 55-45 percentage type of
Mm-hmm.
range. And I would just say, you you want to you want to make it worth their while. You know,
Right.
that's why I pay an hour over. If it takes me 1 hour to clean it, I'm gonna pay 2 hours on this. Like there's one person, I got, sole proprietor that I got that takes care of the building for me, and she's averaging $30 an hour because I'm paying her 15 an hour for 2 hours, but the building takes sometimes less than an hour to clean. And so, but what we agreed on is $30 per visit, and that's how we did it. And so I talked to my mentor about this, and I asked him, man, am I doing this right? Am I doing this correctly? Am I am I violating any laws with this? And he's specific. He was a CPA. He's got a background in accounting and finance, and so he understands this stuff. And what he told me specifically was, as long as you are not uh, demanding that they got to come in at this time and leave at this time. Like if you're not, okay, for instance, your building that the government, your government building,
Mm-hmm.
they have the customer have the stipulation, not you. The customer says that we have to come in here at this time. That's not you, you know, demanding that they do
Right.
this. You can be your own, you can be your own entity, but per customer instructions, we have to have this building done within these hours.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But for all the after hours stuff, the only stipulation that I've had was one of the buildings, the customer, it's a large building with 3 suites in there, and they have a what do you call it? The alarm system takes care of all 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
So they want us to be out of there by a certain time at night. So this is
Mm-hmm.
the customer's instructions, not mine. So in the agreement, I just say the building, you can come in here whenever, as long as it's done by 11 o'clock, because this is when the
Right.
customer puts out of here. And plus, I want to get up in there to go check it and make sure it's good, after y'all leave anyway, or if they still there at 10:30, I'm coming in there and checking it out anyway, making sure they did everything, pretty good. And that's my position, is going there and checking on it. But just to get back to that point of because there's a thin line. There's a thin line of W-2, 1099 contract and how they qualify. But
Right.
as long as you are not making their schedule up, saying like you got to work from 6 to 10, or um, giving them direct orders. What I do is this is what has to be done. This is the scope of work. Just and I'll show them how I do it. Just being honest, I show them how I do it, and I say this is what's been best working for me, and now you can do it how you want to do it. And as long as we're doing it like that, we're good to go.
Yeah, I've been considering going with some subcontractors, but I just really didn't know what to pay them, you know,
Yeah,
and what my cut would be.
yeah,
Yeah. And I'm gonna change the subject a little bit. As far as sales go, um, I've been considering cold calling and
yeah.
cold emailing. I had never done it before, but I've been looking into it pretty heavy. And I was just wondering what method works best for you as far as picking up new accounts. Do you just do just cold walk-ins, or you do anything digitally, or cold calling, or what's your process for sales go?
Real quick, thank you for watching this video. I hope you're getting some value out of it. If so, give me a like on this one. It spreads the content to more people like us, and it lets me know that you are enjoying this type of content and I should post more of it. So anyway, let's get back to the video.
Absolutely. So for the most part, what's worked out best for me is just walking in and speaking to whoever's in charge of hiring the cleaning services. The best thing, whether that's you and a partner or you got a small team, that's been my number one way for landing new contracts and attracting clients is me just taking a couple hours out of my day or out of the week and just walking into these certain places that I feel like I can go and help, and that's literally just me introducing my business to them. That's how I did it out here. And now when it comes down to the calls, I like to do warm follow-up calls where I would, if I done spoke with somebody before that I walked in and spoke with, I'm just following up every now and then. And then with the cold calls, the best way I feel to do it is to target, target a certain niche or whatever, whether that's dentist offices, just general office buildings, law offices, and medical offices, whatever. And I used to simply just get on Google and I would just go down the line, and I would call them. But if you're doing it yourself, one of the things that I recommend is just mastering a script, or mastering it to the point where you don't feel like or sound like just robotic with it, but you have a process. And then of course we got, you have a couple of questions listed down that you could ask them right away. And then for the most part, just the same way that we would go out and introduce our business to them with the flyer and business card. That's all I'm trying to do on the phone. I'm just trying to introduce my business to you. I'm not trying to sell you nothing right away. Just wanted to introduce my business to you and see if you guys may be interested in a new cleaning service. And just like rinse and repeat, just keep doing it. That's how I did it. And then a lot of people, they would hire a small team, or they'll find a virtual assistant overseas and they can do it. And for the most part, it's a matter of getting a good list. I don't really know where all these lists come from. People, you may do some research and find some good lists, but for the most part, I just go pull from Google.
Right.
That I think is good, and I'll get on Google and I'll get their the description, and I'll get the phone number, and I'm hitting them up just like that. Another thing that I do that's been really great for me as well in my Arkansas business was getting on Google, having my business on Google, and establishing my presence, establishing a web presence, and making it look legit. And you get multiple calls like that as well. That's how I got about 50% of my business out there, and a lot of the recurring floor jobs came from Google as well. Do you have a Google page?
Like Google My Business?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, great.
And that's something else I wanted to ask your opinion on. And you probably haven't had this issue, but I do a lot of exterior cleaning, like pressure washing and gutter cleaning and stuff like that for residential. I do some commercial, but it's mostly residential. And that's the part that I'm more hands-on with. I do most of that, or I have somebody help me do it. And I do a lot of business that way also. I get a good bit of revenue from that side of my business as well.
Good.
But I'm having my website is more geared towards that. My website doesn't even mention janitorial. It's all totally exterior cleaning. And all of my Google reviews, I have all 5 stars, but it's all from the exterior cleaning. It has nothing to do with my janitorial. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I mesh the two together, because they're both under the same business name. Yeah. And technically they're both cleaning, but it's 2 different one's in interior cleaning and it's commercial, and the other one is exterior cleaning, which is mostly residential. And I'm trying to figure out, you know, how do I, well, first, let me ask you this first. As far as your website go, do you have somebody that manages that for you as far as like your website and take care of all your social media type stuff, or do you do that yourself, or do you hire a company to take care of that type of stuff for you?
Yeah, so as far as that, I do it all myself. I hadn't gotten to the point yet where I hired somebody to do that. Now I've looked into finding somebody out here to revamp my website or make it better, make it, more accessible and just kind of freshen it up. I've looked into that, but they wanted, $5,000, all this. I'm not necessarily looking for that. I'm looking for some. I maybe got $200-300 to spend on something to make it look fresh. But for the most
Right.
part, I did all those myself, as well as my Google, my social media, all that. I pretty much do it all myself because it's not really necessary to have this big elaborate website. The main thing is how you are presenting yourself online. Because
Right.
if you're presenting yourself in a certain way where you do a whole bunch of exterior, then that's what the people are thinking. So, but if your goal now is to do more commercial, then I would suggest a whole new sort of revamp, not revamp. You can keep the stuff you have now, but I would get intentional about taking multiple photos of interior, and then even maybe just a couple of photos of stuff on the inside. You doing stuff on the inside,
Yeah.
whether it's you wiping down. There's the classic photo that I have with my hand. I got the glove on. I got my rag, and I'm wiping down a table. Or I'm cleaning
Right.
something. Just something to where it's showing, okay, this is a janitorial company, or whether you vacuuming up something, or just something to where it's starting to look like, okay, they actually do this. And because the perception is really all that matters. How is your business being perceived? And from the sounds of it, it sounds like that your business is being perceived as this exterior cleaning,
Right.
pressure washing, gutter cleaning type of stuff like that. So you're gonna get more calls like that when it comes to people looking up cleaning companies near me, and they see that, they may skip right over yours because they
Yeah.
might think, I'm not looking for that right now. Maybe in the future I might need something like that. I'm looking for somebody to clean the inside of this building. And
Right.
so I would suggest getting really, really intentional on, and here's another thing I would do. I would go and look up cleaning companies near me on your phone. I would look that up and look at the top 5 people, the top 5 companies. What do their websites look like? What does
Mm.
their Google look like? And I wanna emulate some of that stuff. Of course, you can't
Mm.
take their photos, but I want to go, okay, I like the way that look. I want to do something. I want to find something like that and just snap some good photos, even on your phone, but some good high resolution, decent quality, well lit photos, and start posting them. Just start posting them, and you can revamp your website like that as well. And then, two, the fact that you are already somewhat known for doing the exterior work, you can take most of those uh, the wording that you got on your Google website, where it
Mhm.
shows the description. You can take a lot of that stuff on down and start adding more janitorial stuff on there.
Yeah.
Janitorial, uh, uh, deep cleaning, office cleaning,
Yeah.
commercial cleaning. Start putting a whole bunch of those on there. So when people start typing this stuff in on Google, you starting to pop up because that
Yeah.
search engine optimization is real. If you got these certain keywords on your website or on your Google, you're gonna start to pop up. You're gonna start to be in that top whatever, top 10, top
Yeah.
5 even. Uh, so
Yeah.
that's what I would
Well,
that's what I would recommend.
Because right now, as far as Google goes, when when somebody Googles something doing about exterior cleaning, my company pops up top two.
Awesome.
Sometimes it's number one. It
Awesome.
goes back and forth with me and this really big company. And it pops up one or two every single time, but that's for the exterior cleaning.
Yeah.
Now, I have had people reach out. Well, I had this one company reach out to me for janitorial, and they found me on Google because I do mention janitorial in my Google My Business
Good.
page, but not a whole lot. But somehow, I guess they must have Googled janitorial in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and they saw my company pop up, and they hired us. But I think it was mostly because they were they mostly like to do business with Black owned companies.
Yeah.
And that's something else I mentioned in my Google My Business, that we Black owned, and I'm a former I used to be in the military also, and I mentioned that on there, that I'm a veteran.
Awesome.
And I think that's what their company is kind of committed to, um, doing business with Black owned and veterans and stuff like that. So they ended up hiring us, but that it didn't last, but they did end up hiring us because of that. But that's the thing. That's the dilemma I'm having as far as the exterior cleaning. I don't want to scare away my exterior cleaning customers, because that's something I really enjoy doing, and I do get a lot of. I do make a pretty decent amount from that every year. So that's the dilemma I'm in. I don't want people to go on my the Google, something exterior cleaning, and then they see, oh, janitorial, and then that scare them away. So it's just something I'm trying to work on right now. And as far as your inspections, how often do you do your inspections as far as your buildings go?
Me, every day.
Every day?
I'm going every day. Now, there's a couple of them. Like, there's one lady who, okay, I would just say this. My wife's aunt worked for us as well. She's been helping us out for a long time. And I pretty much trained her, showed her how to clean from the beginning. So she is a rock star cleaner. I never have to go check out to her. I rarely have, and I do that building twice a week as well. Because she do it 3 days, I do it 2 days. And so that's my inspection on days I clean it. I don't have to
Right.
go about her at all pretty much anymore. And as far as the other people, what I need to see from them is I need to see at least 4 or 5 quality cleans consecutively before I even say, all right, I'm not gonna go over there tonight. But for the most part, I'm going every other day. And for the couple I was telling you about, I go over there every day. I still go clean
Yeah.
it. I go touch up, I may do some touching up on that every day. But for the most part, I'm spending anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes in there, just looking at everything, making sure this got done right, making sure that got done right. I'm checking my communication log. First of all, I'm walking into the building and going straight to the communication log. Is there
Right.
anything in here that they put in here today? If it's good, okay, good. Now I'm gonna go walk through, check and make sure, because here's the whole point of the inspection is to catch the complaint before it happens.
Before it happened. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We don't even want them to see it. I want to catch whatever was missed or might be messed up before they have to say anything. And it's I'm somewhat of a, I don't know. I get super detail oriented sometimes, and I may be my wife think I'm too controlling on that sometimes.
Yeah.
I could lay off a little bit, but I just like to keep my customers happy. I like to make sure everything is smooth. I want to make sure that it's done well, and that's kind of how I do it. But I
Yeah.
want to see at least 4 or 5 quality cleans out of this person on a consecutive basis before I can ease off and go to
Yeah.
maybe 3 days a week or maybe twice a week. And a lot of them are fairly close to me too, so it's not too bad for me to get on out there and go check them. But that's the position I put myself in now, is where I'm operations manager type position, because that's the next hire. It's you have the ownership or leadership of the business, and then you have the person that's helping you manage the business. Then you have the people that's cleaning the business. That's kind of how tiers go. And until I find somebody to go around here and check these buildings for me, I'm about to do that now. And then
Okay.
it'll be to the point where maybe one of these people that's been cleaning really well, maybe they may want to come up to this level, and I'll
Right.
find a pay structure that works out for them, to where, okay, now, and that's me handing over those keys to them, because that's
Mm-hmm.
how I do it too. Whenever I get a building, I need 2 sets of keys. I need one for me, one for my person that's going to be helping me clean this building. And
Okay.
that's how we do it, man. And so it's really just a matter of you figuring out how that works for you. And this is what, to wrap up all that we've been talking about. This goes back to, this is the system that I use. These are my systems, for this. And I think a good thing would be to just get everything out of your head and put it on paper. Just
Yeah.
put it on paper. I say, okay, I do this, I do that. As far as systems for my keys, what I do is I got those money bags, the
Mm-hmm.
zipper bag. I got
Yeah.
all my keys in one of those bags. I got a tag on the key that show, okay, this building, that building, that building. That's how I keep my keys. That's my system for my keys. Um, it's just and I got to get better with that too, as far as putting it on paper. But my system for marketing, that I got that all written down too. How I do that. I know I'm gonna end up going out there and walking in places. I want to keep my Google managed well, keep my business going smoothly, and on that too. I like what you said about, because you've already established yourself with the exterior, so you don't want to scare those new customers off who might come and see that. I think if you want to, you could separate the two if you want to, and you just have to manage them both. But the fact that you already got this one established so well, I think it'd be a good thing for you to just merge them and just mix them in there, specialize in exterior and interior,
Yeah.
and do both. I wanted to mention that. Uh,
Okay. So what type of buildings do you have? Just medical, or what type of?
yeah, so that's what I specialize in now. That's what I target strictly medical offices, whether that's a primary care office, or just a pediatrics clinic, or whatever kind of clinic, chiropractor's office, whatever. I like those type of cleans, and that's what I have positioned my company as. I have geared my company as that type of company, where we look very niche specific, where if they
Yeah.
come onto my Google or my website or whatever, they're going to see, oh, this is what we specialize in. Now, we will take a different type of place, but I want those medical offices, I want them to see that we are for y'all, because that's what I
Right.
want. And now my Arkansas business, I got um, some of everything on there, and to where we, pretty much we got a church, we got a Corps of Engineers office, a government office building. We had a VA clinic, a dialysis clinic, and then we have a warehouse type of building where they manufacture lasers and those type of electronic products. So it's
Mm.
some of everything out there. And then we do some restaurants, floors cleaning. So
Mhm.
it's kind of just full service out there. And
Yeah.
and that's kind of how I got that set up out there to where it's on my Google, you will see that we do some of everything interior wise.
Okay. Well, let me ask you one more question about the subcontracting. Um, Say for instance, you get a walkthrough for a new account, and you know that you want a subcontractor to take care of it. Do you send the subcontractor to do the walkthrough, and they create the price and just add on how much you're gonna get with the price? Or do you do the walkthrough, you come up with the price and add on your amount? Or how does
Great
that
question.
work?
Wonderful question. So I love this question a lot because the only time I would do that is if I fully trust this person or I'm not able to get to it, right? So, and I pretty much put it in their hands. But so for my Arkansas business, if I get a call today, I'm for somebody that wants full service janitorial. I'm going to go and find the person who I want to subcontract this out to, and I'll have them go and do it. I'll have them go and talk to the people, do the walkthrough, all that good stuff. And these are people that I trust. I know we do good business together. That's the only time I would go and send them. And how we would do it with that is they'll tell me, hey, I'll clean it for this amount. This is what I want to do it for. And so if we can get this, then that's good. And I would go back and speak with the customer or send a proposal with that amount plus 20% or so, or whatever I want to
Mhm.
charge. And then we'll go for it. And if that's how it works out, that's how it works out. That's what I've done for my Arkansas business. Now out here in Florida, me being here and me being able to go and speak with them, physically be there and do the walkthrough myself, that's where I'm coming up with the price. And then I'm going out and finding the subcontractor, and I
Mhm.
am saying, hey, this is what we can do, and will you agree to this, or what's
Right.
your price on this? That's how I would do that. So
Okay. Okay.
so yeah. Um, only time I would send somebody to do it for me is if I couldn't make it there.
Right.
And and I fully trust that they're not gonna try to go backdoor me. You know,
Oh, okay.
you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
that's really all it is. Um,
Okay.
so great question there.
I just want to close with one last question. As far as the systems go, I just want to make sure um, what all systems do I need to make sure what all parts of the business do I need to have systems for? I know hiring is one, um, sales,
Hmm.
sales and marketing that will go together, right?
Yes, sir. For the most
And
part, yeah.
as for do I need a system for onboarding someone after I've hired them, or does
Yes.
that kind of go together with hiring?
Yeah. Okay. Great question. So one thing that we also do, I didn't mention is we use an app called Homebase. There's an
Mm,
app called Homebase, HOMEBASE, and
home
we
base.
we we pay $24 a month for this app. And what we do is as soon as we onboard somebody, what we'll do is we'll get them set up on the app, put all the information in there, and um, and it's solely for the purposes of us staying on the same page. We keeping track of, all right, what did you actually work this particular month or this particular week or whatever, and then it also allows me to know that the building got completed that night. Now they can clock in whenever they want to. I'm not telling you you got to be here at this time, whatever.
Hmm.
So as long as I see that, boom, they clocked in and clocked out, I know the
Right.
building was taken care of that night. Instead of
Right.
them, having to call me, hey, I just got here, or hey, I just left. You ain't got to do all that. Just use the app, and that's a way for me to know that, okay, this was completed. So that's a system that I like to use, and then assist the, and then I give them a standard operating procedure. So just get a scope of work. Basically, this is what we need
Yeah.
to do. I get it, and I come with an envelope. I have a W-9 form, and I have our agreement, and I
Mhm.
give that to them, and then as well as a scope of work. This is what has to be done, and boom, we go from there. And I have them sign all the documents, and then I get them back, and of course, and I leave them with their copy, and then and they know what needs to be done in the building, so we on the same page. And
Yeah.
pretty much every day they get to the building, they just hit the home base app, and they can only clock in when they get there. It's a on location app. They
Right.
have on
Right.
location to do it, and that just lets me know that it got done that night. Um,
Okay.
and and so that's one of the systems that we use that really works out really really well. By the way, because it keeps track of everything.
Okay. And I got a quality control system. That's you doing the inspection.
Right, right.
Okay.
And then
And that,
that communication log, I highly recommend that too. Put that
yeah,
communication
yeah.
log in there.
I'm definitely gonna start that up here pretty soon also because I definitely been intending on doing that, but I never had like a template on how to do it. But I appreciate you sending that to me. Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, I ain't gonna hold you anymore, man. I appreciate your time a lot, and you helped me out a lot. I found you on YouTube. Do you have any other social media or whatever?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, man. I got a Facebook, just my same name, Darian Jarrett. But yeah, man. Good to meet you.
Good to
Uh,
meet you. I appreciate it, and I'll keep watching your videos and sharing them and all that. And I wish you more success in your business.
awesome, awesome. I appreciate it. Same to you, man. If there's
Right.
anything I can ever help, let me know.
I will. I definitely will. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, then, man. Hey, have a good one.
Okay, you too.
Wow, man. First of all, thank you to my guy Angelico for allowing me to post this content. He is out there rocking it in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And this could be your story too, man. If you're interested in some coaching, some consulting, whatever, let me know, man. I do offer a mentorship program. It's limited space right now, but hit me in my email, darianjarrett9@gmail.com. You will learn how to run a successful cleaning business. Anyway, thank y'all for watching this. See you on the next one. Peace.